Zip Dee awnings and accessories. Don't settle for anything less. If using this tape for actual installation, follow along with your written instructions. Zip Dee makes specific hardware for each contour coach. Each set of hardware is identified by a code. For example, AV hardware is for Avion, GM for GMC, and AS for the Airstream coach. Be sure that the code on the hardware box and the installation instructions matches the vehicle. Most contour coaches already have the awning rail installed at the factory. If not, refer to your instruction sheet to see exactly where the awning rail should be installed. You may find it easier to pre-assemble all of the hardware first. Remove the bag of mounting hardware and empty it into the open lid of the hardware box. This will keep all of the small parts contained and make it easier to find what you need when you need it. Find the long main arm tubes and corresponding stainless steel main arm bar. Insert a snap stud into the threaded hole of each main arm tube. Then insert a bar into each tube so that the contour of the steel bar follows the contour of the coach and the bottom leg of the main arm tube. Now set the main arms aside and assemble the rafter arms. Screw a ratchet stud into the threaded hole of the rafter arm tube. Try to tighten the stud so that a flat side is facing down toward the claw end. Lift and turn the cap until the pin also faces the claw. Tap the pin down until it is flush with the head. Then slip a ribbed aluminum bar into each tube so that the teeth of the bar are facing the same side as the ratchet stud. Now that the main arms and rafter arms are assembled, you're ready to begin installing. The main arm hinges are normally mounted on the ribs of the coach or other solid surface. If your coach's skin is fiberglass or steel, you'll have to mark 2 vertical lines to establish a simulated rib line. The span between the rib centers or plumb lines should be equal to the awning size. You'll find the awning size on the end plug of the roller. The location of the hinge on the rib is measured from the awning rail. This distance varies with each hardware design. Check your instructions, then measure and mark as shown. The hinges are triangular shaped. The 2 vertical holes mount on the rib line with the pointed ends facing toward the ends of the vehicle. Use the hinge as a template to mark the hole positions before drilling. Fill all of the hinge holes with sealant to prevent leakage. Then secure the hinge with 2 1-inch stainless steel sheet metal screws in the vertical holes and an expanding rivet at each point. Don't substitute your favorite plated teak screw for our stainless. You may save a few minutes, but your plated fastener will rust. The main arms are then attached to the hinges using the stainless steel 1 5/8 inch bolts and cap nuts. Now attach the head castings. They're marked front and rear, so be sure you put them on the proper arms. Select the rear clamp casting from the hardware component box. Screw one of the round wheel castings onto the threaded stud, just enough so it holds. Slip the rear head casting over the steel bar of the main arm with the Zip Dee logo facing out, and hold it in place with a 1 3/8 inch bolt. Connect the clamp casting to the rear head by fitting the wheel into the chamfered seat of the head casting and draw the clamp up. Now lift the arm against the coach until the clamp casting is seated against the wall of the vehicle, and mark the clamp location by lining up the 2 vertical holes in the clamp with the rib line. Then drill with a number 26 bit. Fill all of the holes with sealant to prevent leakage. Remove the clamp from the head casting and install with a 3/4 inch stainless steel sheet metal screws. Don't substitute your favorite teak plated screw for our stainless. You may save a few minutes, but your plated fastener will rust. Repeat the procedure for the front arm. You are now ready to attach the awning roller assembly. Set the awning alongside the coach, with the Z-lock on your right, toward the front of the coach. It's a good idea to set it on some type of platform, like the shipping cartons or a couple of chairs. It'll be more comfortable for you, and it will keep the awning off the ground. Then remove the head castings from the steel bars and attach one to each end of the assembly using 1 1/2 inch stainless steel machine screws already inserted in the head casting. At the front end of the roller assembly, flip open the Z-lock lever and attach the head casting to the shaft so that the lever and the shank of the head are facing in the same direction. Now connect the roller assembly to the main arms by sliding the head castings back onto the steel bars at each end. Secure the heads to the bars with 1 3/4 inch bolts and nylon hex nuts. The end slat of the awning case with the vinyl strip attached is the flex key. Remove the Phillips head screw that's holding it to the case. Then slide the flex key assembly off the case. After placing step ladders at either end of the coach, prepare the awning rail by flaring and filing the sharp edges. Now close the Z-lock lever and lift the entire awning roller assembly on the arms up against the coach. Turn the roller so that the case is facing outward and the open side is near the awning rail. The case is connected to the awning rail by reinserting the flex key assembly back into the case, while at the same time guiding the vinyl bead into the awning rail. When the flex key is even with the end of the case, secure it by reinserting the Phillips head screw you removed earlier. Now open the Z-lock and allow the awning to gently unroll. With the awning open, Lock it in place by closing the Z-lock lever. The one spring of a Zip Dee awning is located at the rear of the roller assembly. With the awning supported, unbolt the rear main arm from the hinge, then slide the tube off from the steel bar. Now, use the steel arm as a lever, and facing toward the front of the coach, turn the arm clockwise, one turn for each foot of awning length. Do not remove the bar from the head castings. As long as the steel bar remains connected to the head casting, the spring's power will be controlled and safe. After winding, put the main arm tube back onto the bar and reattach the main arm assembly to the hinge. Finger tighten only in case the tension must be adjusted. Now test the tension. Hold the center strap of the roller and release the Z-lock. When the Z-lock is released, the roller may shift, but should not begin to roll itself up until you give it a gentle rolling push. Use the pull strap to control the speed. You may have to add or remove a few turns of the spring to get the proper tension. After the spring tension is adjusted, tighten the nut on the rear main arm hinge. Now you'll want to check to see if the awning is centered. If your roller is properly centered between the hinges, both arms will be parallel. Also, the threaded studs with the wheels will flip into the slot of each head casting so that the wheels can be tightened for a second safety lock to hold the arms in place. If the roller assembly is not centered, you can shift it in either direction by sliding the awning in the awning rail. Once everything is aligned, lock the case in position by drilling a hole through the awning rail and the flex key bead, approximately 2 inches in from the end of the case. Insert a number 6 by 1/2 inch sheet metal screw from the hardware kit. The final step in the installation is to attach the rafter arms. They're marked front and rear, so choose one and attach it to the clamp casting with a 1 5/8 inch bolt and cap nut. Next, with the awning open, hook the claw onto the roller shaft and lock it in position by pushing forward on the tube until the ratchet stud engages. Then install the other rafter arm the same way. Check to be sure that all the bolts and screws are firmly in place.